And the last one before a quick break, yeah, we're pretty much back on time. Te Whare Roimata Trust, Jenny Smith, welcome.
We thank you for this opportunity today of coming. I'm Jenny Smith from Te Whare Roimata, and my colleague Jamie Stevenson is going to share in the presentation. But I guess we're going to say, put simply, we are here today to say we believe it is now time for the inner city east Linwood neighbourhoods to receive their share of regeneration, attention and investment. We shall make the case for why we think this is so and how we believe this can be done. We're going to begin by giving you a snapshot of this vibrant, diverse, colourful, supportive neighbourhood that has long provided the city with important low-cost housing for single people on limited incomes, which is sandwiched between the central city and the suburbs, and is one of the oldest neighbourhoods in Christchurch, dating back to the early European settlement days. I'm going to hand it over to Jamie to take us through a little bit of the community.
Thanks, Jenny. Tēnā tātou katoa. So I'll start by, as Jenny said, just giving a bit more background of the neighbourhood, starting sort of with some of the challenges that are facing the neighbourhood. So this is an area that regularly rates around 9 to 10 on the New Zealand Social Deprivation Index. It also has a low level of home ownership, around 19% compared to 65% citywide. And as Jenny said, that reflects the history of it as a place that offers low-income housing, offers affordable housing for people on low incomes, particularly single people. It's also an area that's been badly affected by the earthquakes, and much of that affordable housing has been lost, along with businesses and the displacement of a lot of long-time community members. However, we know that this is a really diverse community, a resourceful community, and one that is connected and has strong foundations. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about in early 2017, just the start of this year, along with support from the Linwood Central Heathcote Community Board, Te Whare Roimata undertook a survey of local residents. And I'm just going to talk a little bit about some of the themes that came up, and we've also got some information we'll hand around to you as well, more information about that survey. So bear with me, not being a technological person myself. So just what came up in the surveys was that this is a strong community. It's a community full of friendly people who say hi in the street, but it's still suffering from the ongoing effects of the earthquakes. There's been a great loss of affordable housing and loss of houses with character. There's been a move towards more expensive and more dense housing with little outdoor space in an area that has few green spaces and public parks. There's a growing feeling of neglect and growing tensions related to poverty and social inequality. Worries about the changing character of the area. There are also lots of thoughts about businesses in the Linwood Village area, that it's still in transition 6 years on from the earthquakes. There are concerns about empty and damaged buildings and lots sitting vacant. There are concerns about rubbish on the roads and in public spaces. There's also a strong motivation amongst the community. It's a unique community. A community of people who look after each other and care about each other and are motivated to improve their area. It's a place that people love to live, and we just want to say we think it's time.
Thank you, Jamie. So, in spite of it being a high deprivation area, it's a strong, connected community where residents enjoy living there and hold positive views about its area. It's seen considerable investment from social service agencies that have been there for many, many years. As Jamie said, the quakes have done a lot of damage, A lot of the affordable single housing stock's gone. The shops at the Linwood Village and the little corner shops have also gone. And as Jamie said, a lot of this has largely gone under the radar of authorities. And 6 years on, the little Linwood Village key services have gone. No banks, no hairdresser, no greengrocer, no pharmacy, no medical centre, a post shop that's run by a community organisation that's heavily reliant on volunteers, and several transitional projects with no guarantees of permanence. The bed sits that once were there are boarded up, and as Jamie said, a growing number of people who are living rough on the streets or in derelict buildings. It's clear to us that the marketplace on its own cannot provide for this important community, and years to come will only result in uneven development, and we suspect will most likely benefit the more advantaged. While there is a master plan, just like there is to Sydenham, it too doesn't have the teeth to address the underlying issues that are impacting on the village or the wider inner city east community. In light of the fact that this is a strong, connected neighbourhood with deep roots and one of the few remaining communities where low-income people feel at home, especially the older single people, we believe it is worthy of investment. We say to you that it is time for the neglect of the inner city to stop. Just like other communities who've had their share of regeneration, attention and investment, it is now the inner city east turn. In our submission, we put forward to you ways that we think can come about bringing change. The key, we believe, is a bottom-up, community-led revitalisation plan that enables key players to come to the table with the necessary resources to implement the responses that are needed and which the community has already begun to identify. We also say to you we are needing the strategic purchase of land at Stanmore Road by the council to create a community economic hub. Left on its own, our real concern is that businesses that will come will need to be citywide to be able to afford the rents, and in the process local people won't be able to shop there because they won't be able to afford the goods, or alternatively they won't suit what they're wanting. We're also saying that in order to be able to support the homeless community, there is a strong need for a drop-in centre. We're also saying that it's timely for there to be a review of the Linwood Village Master Plan, including looking at the Doris Lusk Reserve. We also say as well support for additional finance for the Linwood Latimer Community Housing Trust and its desire to be able to rehouse displaced inner city east people. So that's from us. A little other bit that we are also encouraging as a plea, I guess, for the Woolston Pool for that to be supported. Thank you.
Thank you. And obviously the community board made a very powerful presentation in this regard as well. But one of the things that I guess that is worthy of exploring is whether we should be seeking to engage the community directly in a form of partnership so that we can, and I've said this to the previous speaker as well, you know, I'm just looking at you. I mean, I've known you for years. I think you were about the first community group I visited when I was MP for Christchurch Central many years ago. And it seems to me that I look at what you've said and I think of where Aranui was 15 years ago. And I think if the same level of investment, and that was central government investment, had been made in Te Whare Roimata, for example, leading the community development, I feel that we wouldn't be where we are today, even with the earthquake. So is that something that you'd be interested in exploring with the council?
We certainly would, Leanne. And in actual fact, 15 years ago, we began pushing, before Aranui got the regeneration, we were pushing for something similar, or our own process in the inner city east.
Yeah, that was the Strengthening Communities Action Fund is what it was called, but that actually provided a direct resource to the community, not accountable for outputs and, you know, sort of various other. It was to enable, facilitate and promote community development from the grassroots. So, and it's certainly happened there. And I'm just looking at somebody that I think is very capable of delivering the same. Phil Glenn.
Thanks very much, Jenny and Jane. Look, I just wondered, like some of these are big aims, and there's something though we can't ignore, and like the drop-in centre alone is a big one. So I'm just wondering, and having a revitalisation plan from sort of a community development perspective, I'm impressed with. But I'm just wondering, to achieve some of that, if one of the ways that we do regeneration plans, which might, for example, assist with some of the property aspects, if other planning or assistance from council alongside what you're doing might also assist.
I would support that. I mean, I think the thing is we can't do it on our own, and at the moment it's very much been left to the business community to do it, or for the community to be able to have a go at doing it, and bits from council. We need to be able to come together and for it to be led, I guess, in a way upwards from the community, what we've heard from the survey, what we're very clear what people are wanting.
Thanks, Jenny.
Ben.
Thank you. Just to let you know, Jenny, that several elected members are very conscious of this, and we're working on some of the structures over it. Obviously, news media thinks it's just a quick fix like that, but I'm sure you can tell us these things are, a generation or so in the making.
Thank you. Look, thank you very much for that. Much appreciated. And that, according to my run sheet, brings us to a short break. And we're due to start again at 5:25. But we could actually just take a 10-minute break if you like and come back at 5:15.